Hello there, this is Shao, and welcome to another VoxFX PSA. Today's topic, having a mixing friend. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that you're probably a solo producer. If you're in a band, this may not be as relevant to you. But yeah, I'm a solo producer, you're probably a solo producer. It's very liberating, you get full creative control. It's like, it's my show, I do what I want. That's pretty awesome, and it's fun, but at the same time, you can get, quote, lost in yourself. The more you listen to your mixes, the harder it is for you to stay neutral and look at your mix from a relatively unbiased perspective. There's a phenomenon called composer's deafness, where if you listen to your mix like over and over and over again, you start to get accustomed to it, and you eventually get to the point where any sort of changes you make to it sound wrong, and you're just like, okay, so this is how it is, I can't change it anymore, because you sort of get attached to it. And this is bad because your mix could have like major issues and you wouldn't realize it, or like you wouldn't want to do anything about it if you did. So it sort of biases your perspective, and it ultimately can hurt your mix. So how do you fix that? So in my mixing tips video, I talked about 5 ways to reference mix, which included mixing in mono, mixing at low volume levels, listening to your stuff in different rooms, using different speakers, and comparing against reference tracks. But I didn't mention one strategy, and that is showing your mix to someone else. Now, why would you want to do that? Basically, this someone else will have a fresh set of ears. They won't have composer's deafness. They won't have been listening to it 500 million times and have gotten attached to it, so they'll be slightly less biased against it. And they'll have a different perspective. They'll have listened to different music. They'll have made slightly different music, probably. Just different experiences. We're all different people. Those things add up and result to a different listening experience for this person than for yourself. So that's fundamentally why having a mixing friend is a good thing. But let's get more specific about the kind of person you want. First, obviously, you want it to be someone that you can get along with. You're not going to do well if your mixing friend is like a rival or a competitor. They're going to give you bad advice, or just someone that you find completely insufferable. Yeah, don't do that. And make sure it's someone that you can trust to give you honest feedback. Not like, I would say like, give it to like your parents or your significant other, because they'll just be like, oh, sweetie, it's fine, it's good, it's wonderful, you made it, and that's what counts. That's not helpful to you. Yeah, if they can give you honest feedback. And ideally, they would probably be a producer as well, so that they can give you more constructive feedback, preferably someone who makes a similar kind of audio that you do, like the same genre of music, or like they also happen to do podcasts or something like that. But they shouldn't be like a clone of yourself. They should have like differing opinions about like mixing strategies or different things like that, because the best feedback often comes from people we disagree with. I've learned that a lot especially at my job. It's also good to work with someone who has a somewhat different skill set, because that way you can learn from each other. So if you give them your mix, they would ideally listen to it on their monitors in their room, which is good reference mixing practice anyway. And most important of all, make sure this person is someone that wants you to succeed. Because they want you to do well, they'll keep you honest about your projects. My coworkers use the term accountabili-buddy. But yeah, that's generally what you want to look for in a mixing friend. So I'll tell you about mine. My mixing friend is EDM producer, fellow YouTuber, and certified German person, Vocoded Glasses. We've been working with each other for about a year now. We have about the same amount of experience, but we got our start learning different things. Like, I focused a lot more on like songwriting and mixing, but he could like sound design circles around me. And he's been doing a lot of stuff with like live performance, which I haven't even touched. So there are some differences there. And we also have somewhat different tastes musically, so that can be good for differences of opinion. Like I said, different skills. We use different plugins, but we both do use FL Studio. We also have different sets of studio monitors. Like I have my PreSonus Eris E5s and he has his KRK Rockets. But yeah, it's been very helpful. We keep each other honest. We learn from each other, and ultimately it's fun, because he's my friend in addition to being my mixing buddy. So yeah, long story short, have a mixing friend. You'll thank me later. Anyway, that's about it for this video. If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions about mixing friends, comment below. I'm always open for questions. And if you'd like to request a VoxFX tutorial, please send me a message. Remember, if it's talky, I can talk about it, and I'm still cranking away on that format filter tutorial. Sorry, I've just been really busy lately. But yeah, until then, have fun and keep making sound.